roll. For the love of God's Uganda. On the streets the story's right. All the new the sun will bright. Toyota, Nissan, Benz, so Mazda, we break it down, no propaganda. Every papa's gotta tell. Village try to see the scale. He talks the truth, but that's the brand. For car lovers across the land. For the love of cause Uganda we roll. From dusty road to dreams and patrol. Helping these teams we break it down. Helping every drummer in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cause Uganda. Pre-purchase checks, we lead the way. Track your car, no games to play. Restore the past, drive into tomorrow. We bring the love, not just the horsepower. Is it a no or a TX ride? We'll show you what's real, not just a hype. Starlet views and engine walks. We teach you more than just for jokes. And tools from the basics up. Trucking, gear and car stuff. If you're new or a season back, pull out of cause you ain't seen nothing yet. It's it and done it, I'll be proud. This is more than just machines. It's the love, the life, the people.
Hi guys, how you doing? Mazo kuduka. Dero mazo kuduka guys, I have something to show you. See this? See that? See that? Those are two paintings that were made by Urban. So they had an end of term party at their school. And we had to buy gifts, gifts to give to them, and they had to be educational. And so, okay, they were supposed to be given to them by Santa Claus that was going to visit their school. And they said we had to give them something educational. So I thought Urban likes to paint. Okay, he's good at painting. So I went to Chinatown and I bought canvas. You know canvas, you're also painting. And I bought a bunch of paints. I bought 2 canvases in the beginning and I gave him to paint. And I was amazed at the work he did. So this is supposed to be a house. That too is supposed to be a house. And you see the level of detail this boy put in. You see the blue, the environment. And I think we have a bunch of trees there as well. So I was amazed. I'm still amazed at the work that he does. And so yesterday, in the evening, after the inspections I did yesterday, I went to Chinatown and bought 10 more pieces of these small ones, the small canvases, and I bought him 2 medium canvases as well. And I told him to paint our house, and I want to see what he would come up with. So he has a message at the bottom. With this one, he has a message of Merry Christmas to everyone. And then this one, he has a message of Merry. This other one, he has a message of Merry Christmas. So I told him to start signing his paintings. For people that have not seen paintings, that don't really pay attention to paintings sometimes are as small as rough as this. And paintings like this can actually be bought at like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I think the other thing I have to tell him, I'm going to call him after the broadcast, and I'm going to tell him to also date his paintings so that he knows when he made the particular painting. But this is amazing. Okay, I personally, I cannot paint like this. Looks like it's simple, but this takes imagination. This takes imagination. Someone has to have natural talent, to be able to imagine and draw this off head, because he has brushes and paint and stuff. So anyway, I just couldn't wait to show you this. So our house is going to be full of paintings by Urban. So when he paints on the 10 canvases I gave him, I'm going to bring him more. And so this is now in their bedroom, but I'm going to even give him a bigger canvas, and and I'm going to keep like putting them in the corridors almost everywhere, and I'll even have these in my office. So at a certain point I'll get him to paint on my car. It's nice. Good morning. Today is Lifestyle Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about the 2 inspections I did the other day. So the other day I had 2 inspections. One was buying a car. The initial budget was he wanted to buy a car that does not exceed 28 million shillings, yeah? And the other second person wanted to buy a car of about 18 million, yeah? And he had a first initial deposit of 10 million shillings. So those are the 2 people that I inspected for. But I have a long story to go with those guys. I'm going to go through the inspection report for the guys that were not able to see the inspection report. I'm going to read the inspection report first of the Toyota Wish, yeah, because we bought the Toyota Wish and then we bought the Toyota Alphard, which we finally paid for yesterday. We actually saw it the other day, but we ended up paying for it yesterday. So Lorenzo Mule, Victor Seru, Baguma Antonio Presdo, Agaba Thate, K Jovan, Noah Norman, Moses Kawumbi, Lawrence Bia Mukama, Panga Godfrey, Nabali Mukamoli. Good morning. Video. So let's first go through the Wish inspection. So if you have not seen the pictures of the Wish, I posted them last night. I posted them last morning. I think I posted them at around midnight, yeah, because I got home at around 11:40. I had to wash the car, so I entered the house at around midnight. So that's why you see the posts could have come at around midnight, the posts that have the inspection reports and the pictures. So we bought a Toyota Wish. We saw about 7 options. So I'm going to share the stories as I read the inspection report as well. And so in the inspection report, I see the buyer was undecided on the type of car he wanted. So we looked at 2 Wishes, 3 Noahs, 2 Subarus. At the end of the day, because of the budget and condition issues, the Wish was a better option. So the Wish we bought was a 2009. It has a 2ZR engine, which is a 1.8 liter engine, Valvematic. The number plate is a UBR. It's silver. Now, do I think the car we bought was fair? In fact, he told me Arthur Tonjogerako, Dr. Kambesi VIP, good morning. Sinana Kuboza, Dr. Biagwabitia, Yusuf Minaj, good morning. Dan Okeni Albino Olak, Katama Isaac Kateli, good morning. Samuel Ntali, good morning. So do I think the Wish we bought was the best buy? No, I don't. Even the buyer knew it himself, and he said Arthur Tonjogeda Konti Naguze Bubi. So I will not talk about that on TikTok because it's mostly from TikTok. He's also on YouTube, but it's mostly from TikTok, and mostly the TikTok people are the people that are normally like don't talk about me. But you guys here on YouTube know that I talk about things that I do in the field. So anyway, the person that bought the Toyota Wish was undecided. In fact, when he came in we talked on phone, and he told me he wanted to buy a car of between 24 and 28, and I told him the options of cars he would buy. But at the end of the call, Yusuf Minaj, good morning, I told him as well that I would suggest that we go to the bond. 24 million is a budget that I normally recommend that people go to the bond. So he said, I'll come and we talk about it. So he came on the day that we bought that car, and we started chatting, and I mentioned multiple times that we should go to the bond. So he had 28 million shillings cash. Okay. And I told him, what if we went to the bond and looked at the 2 cars that are being sold at 28 million shillings? This is the Toyota Raum and the Toyota Sienta. If you have cash, you'll buy those cars at 28. Yeah, as per the knowledge I have now. And he said, Arthur, I don't like the Raum, I don't like the Sienta. Let's look for a car that is a little bit big. So we moved around, and along the way we looked at a Mark X as well. Along the way he was interested in the Mark X. Along the way he was interested in the Subaru Impreza. I told him, because in terms of buying, I told him the Wish new model would make a little bit more sense. Now let me tell you what I said. Because he had a budget of 28, I told him, what if we went and paid the 28 million shillings cash? Never to order your room, he did not like the room. Never to order your fielder, never to order your wish, but to order nuwa. And he said, Arthur, sagara kufuna banja dene. Nayate sagara na banja. So now when you mention Tagara banja, the cars would have actually bought would have been the Impreza, a little bit lower, which take it. And they wish to Arijifunye. But then the only wish that we got that was in satisfactory information was that wish. A Moroka Nunji. You guys, it's unfortunate that I was not able to take pictures during the day. But I'm going to share why I wasn't even able to take pictures during the day. So we went to this place. We looked at Noah's, yeah. We looked at Noah's. But the thing is, most of the cars that are being sold at 35, 37 million shillings, okuzigura at 25 when they are old, most of them are not in as good condition as you would want them. So kati, most of the times you figure that it's better to actually go and buy those cars from the bond. You get so we looked at the Noahs, they were not satisfactory. I think the markets as well wasn't satisfactory. And then as we were still looking at those cars, remember the person of the wish was undecided. Yabade tamanyi moroka ja yagala. Nga yaga manjagala moroka nunji. However, a car that is good to someone that is undecided, it's very hard to predict what will be good for them. So we kept looking at cars, and because it was undecided, this person also came, the one that was buying so the person of 10 million called me. So let me also open the inspection report of the Toyota Alphard. I read the first few lines of the inspection report, because the person that bought the Alphard yesterday also came. Now the Alphard, we paid for it yesterday. So we looked at three options. The options were also in Bakuli and Nakawa. And the buyer had 10 million initial payment and wanted a raised 7-seater car. The Alphard was the best recommended vehicle. Now the question is going to be, why was it the best recommended vehicle? Now, with the 10 million first payment, you're even lucky to get someone giving you a 7-seater that is in good condition, as good condition as that Alphard. And some of the options that would have been valued would have been the Noah old model. I have never recommended that car. The Noah 2004 model, still I don't recommend that car, because we turned kufa oenzo kwagala okwetuga. Then the other option would have been the Wish, but also a Wish in good condition. So the Alphard, in my experience, and I've said this time and again, instead of Kostach, good morning, Michael Yuji, good morning. I've said this time and again, it's very hard to get a 7-seater car in good condition, yeah, below 20 million, yeah. Now, yeah, it's even harder to get it in good condition below 20 million. Nga the person is taking 10 million. And I told this person that before we met. I even told him when we eventually met. Now, the Alphard that we eventually bought is the first Alphard we saw. And so we were still looking. Now, remember the person of the Wish was undecided. So this person came. We were seeing the Wish, because it was in the same location as the Alphard. Now, the Wish was fantastic. But for me, the conviction was, because the seller of the Wish initially said he wanted 31 million shillings when we were paying 24 million shillings. Because the goal was pay 24 million shillings now and then have credit and then pay the balance. So we were offering him 28, paying him 24 now, paying the 4 later. He refused. So as he refused, we went to look at the Alphard. There were no more cars in the area where people were that were as good as that Wish, or where people were accepting the 10 million. So we looked at this Alphard. Alphard, the buyer said he did not like it. It wasn't good enough for him. Now, when we looked at that Alphard, you see, the complicated thing with the Alphard is that it's very hard to find someone selling you a car that is good, that is a 7-seater, that is costing about 18 million shillings, and they take 10 million shillings first payment. When this person said this Alphard is not in good condition, the mechanic took me aside, Nangamba, Arthur, ono muddize sente ze za inspection agenda kusumbua. Naye nze sikyasesema, nabagambirawo sikyasesema. Era you guys, if you're going to come to me to do inspection for you and you expect that you will refuse good cars and say athanziriza, I am not going to refund. I have a family to feed. Ontegere. Now I'm going to tell you why I would never refund this gentleman. And the story goes on. So we looked at this Alphard and I was clear. I told him, you know what? No one is going to give you an Alphard that is better than this one. Yeah, at less than 20 million when you're paying 10 million first payment. Guys, now let me tell you this. I have been doing inspection since 2022. On average, I do an inspection a week. Yeah, I even pay URA. They call it income tax. I pay income tax. Guys, I understand the car market. This is the one thing I want to tell you, because I have a bit of the story that I'm going to tell you that will make you tell you that I know. Guys, Alex, sikutegedde. I understand the car market, guys. If there is one thing I've mastered, it's the car market. There are so many times, and I'm going to start being big-headed. You'll tell me, Arthur, there is this car here, let us go there, and I will refuse. I will refuse. So I told the Alphard guy, the guy that bought that Alphard, there is no person that's going to give you the Alphard in better condition than this at less than 20 million when you're paying first payment 10 million. Hey, refund. Yeah, Alex, now that's clear. Guys, sikyasesema sente. Do you know why? Because abantu ebisede bisinga refunding sente. Beba batamanyi baagala. Akatali takamanyi. And I'm going to tell you why the Alphard person, the mechanic said muddize sente agenda kusumbua. Now, mark you guys, the Alphard we saw, and I've told you time and again, we work with brokers. You guys sometimes say, Saga, I'm a broker. I don't want brokers involved. Every time I see someone saying I don't want brokers involved, it's a red flag. Like there is a lady that texted me yesterday on WhatsApp. First of all, the lady did not want to pay consultation fee. But do you know, they said, I don't want to get cars from brokers. Do you know why? Because the lady wants a Spacio new model at 10 million. Who wants a Spacio new model at 10 million? So I told this lady, if you don't want to pay consultation fee, you go and post your question on TikTok. I will answer your question there for everyone else to see. But they also don't want to be seen, yeah, posting a question like that on TikTok because they know it's ridiculous. So they come to Arthur's WhatsApp to get attended to privately, but they also don't want to pay consultation. You get it? So for me, the red flag is always, I don't want to work with brokers. That's why normally, for people that have called me, I've told you, call brokers and see what they get you. You get it? Because the brokers will know. Alphard broker yejitutwalako. And surprisingly, budget twalako, awo nyini nga waliwo ne wish. And then we saw the wish. So, guys, the wish gentleman says, let's go look at other options. Now, guys, I'll be categorically clear. I told the wish person we should buy a new car from the bond. I also told him, these bond guys, and sometime to come, I'll share my personal story. I told this gentleman, these bond people can even give you a year to pay balance. There is no reason why we are buying a used car when you have a current budget of 28 million shillings. Most of these cars don't go beyond 35. We would buy a Rumion at 33, 34. We would buy right now, most of the good fielders are 35, 36. But the Rumion, I know. You get, after car inspection will be a case study for all, and actually it might change the car inspection fee for people in the diaspora for their own good. Montegeira. So we moved from that place and then drove. I had the two people in my car, two inspection people. We moved and we drove to we went to see some new wishes, but the new wishes were expensive, so we moved away from there. So then we went to Bakuli. Kati wano wetwasose, we saw Noah's, we saw 2 wishes as well. We only saw one Alphard. We went to, I think we went to Chitintale. Wabade na ye mmoroka ze batulagiridde. I find that brokers in Nakawa, they work in Chireka, they work in Chari Wajara, they work in Chitintale, they have places in Rosira, the places where they park their cars. So we went also to Chitintale. We saw there in Chitintale, we saw I think 2 Noahs. One Noah was a UBN resprayed. Then we went to Bugorovia, we wali bondi za abayindi awo mumanyiwo. We also saw a Noah which was a UBD at 26 million shillings. Nayenga nungi kale nga UBD nkadde nayenga it was in very good condition. And then it wasn't also good. Then we drove ne tuyita mpaka Wabakuli. Kati Wabakuli eyo, it's where I want to tell you why sigenda kusesemanga sente. Paul Sema, good morning. Stephen Omoria, good morning. Wabakuli wengendo bawera story lwaki sisesema. So when we went to Bakuli, we went to Bakuli to see both cars. In Nakawa, we also saw a Subaru Forester. But the Subaru Forester that we saw, they are 32. So remember, the person that bought the wish was undecided about what car they wanted to buy. So when we went to Bakuli, we saw, first of all, we saw a wish, that he did not like. Then we went and also saw an Alphard for this other gentleman. Now that Alphard also babade bakwatako million 10, but it wasn't as good as the first Alphard. And so I let the person of the Alphard go to the office to bargain for this Alphard. Now if you have the office money, because when I see something that is really nice, obwongo bwange buswitching off normally, because kati bwogenda gula ekintu ekisinga obubi nze mba ndaba nga tekigatta. So that Alphard that we saw, the second one, wasn't as good as the first one we saw. And yes, whatever the kwatako million 10 ne babadde bamuguze million ndoza nga 22 awo, which wasn't worth it. So now before we go to Bakuli, the person of the Alphard showed me pictures of the Alphard new model, and he told me there is a broker in Bakuli that is selling that Alphard new model to him at 19 million shillings. Now guys, I know the car market. I told him it's impossible. It's impossible for you to get that car at even 20 million. And he said, Arthur, and I told him, tugenda mmalo obudde. Nannemerako. Now, before we went to Bakuli, I told these 2 people, we are going to Bakuli for me to satisfy your curiosity. But I know if you have failed to get a car in Nakawa, chances are high. Era wensonga lwaki omuntu bw'ajja ngamba nti ewa Bakuli wali emmoroka gye tusooka. If we find a good car in Bakuli, we don't even proceed to Nakawa. You get? Because Bakuli normally, if it has a good car, it's cheaper than Nakawa. Ontegeera, right? But it's very hard to find a better car there. Nakawa teriyo. Okitegeera, right? Okujjako, there are particular people that you guys have taken us to. Nchimanyi emmoroka bw'abatwalayo, there are chances that that car is actually nice. Now, when we saw the first Alphard, twamule same office, tugenda to start seeing the cars of the wish buyer. When we saw this other wish, then that's when we realized that the things that this wish buyer wanted, he wanted a very new car. And the first wish we saw, ngawe mujiraba mbifananyi, we did not see another wish that was as good as that. So that's when I told him, you know what, I think we need to go to the bond. Let's go to the bond and we get a new car. Which is what I was telling him from the beginning. Because guys, to be honest, 25 million shillings is a lot of money for you to get a car that is not as good as new. You get? So at that moment, the broker that was taking us around told us there's someone that is selling a Noah SI. Let's go look at it. He's selling atunda mangu agenda atunda million asatu mu munana. And then before we left Nakawa, the wish buyer had told us, you know what? if I'm going to buy any car that is above 30 million, it better be a newer. I don't want any other car if it's not a newer, 30 million and above. So we went to look at this newer. And it was good, but it was old. Now, guys, there are bonds that have really nice cars. If you don't know, you will not see that it has moved. Actually, we saw another Wish. That side, yesterday we also bought another Wish. Twagudde ku Wish ngeri mu kibanda ekyemmoroka empya naye nga nkadde. So that newer that we saw, it was really nice. I take it to the broker took us nga tugamba yasa tumunana. We reached there and the seller is selling to 42 million. Remember, we did not have the entire amount. We were paying 25 million first payment. 42. Now, without first payment, there are so many bonds that can give us a car that has not been driven at even 40. So I told this gentleman, why don't we go to the bond and actually get a car that where you're the first owner? And then he saw a Forester, and the Forester was not driven, younger. And no, it was actually driven. It was a UBS, but it was nice. But the seller wanted 37 million shillings. And now there is a point where you reach and you realize, you know what, now we are making bad decisions. At that time it was around 4:35 p.m. there. Now, normally when it gets to that time, people start making the wrong decisions because of time. So I told this gentleman, why don't we do this? Why don't we conclude all this tomorrow? And at that time, the Alphard gentleman came back from the office and he said, you know what, let's go back and buy the other Alphard we saw first. And I told him, but you did not like it. Why don't we start again tomorrow? But I don't promise that we'll find an Alphard. So we have to just increase our budget, first initial deposit, and find probably another car. And he said, no, let's look at this other Alphard. The new model that I've told you, that he says, the broker told him he's selling it to him at 19. I told him, in that very place we have something, Alphard, the same model. And I asked that seller, is it possible for us to get this Alphard, that model, at 19? And he said, even cash, the minimum you can get that Alphard would be 33 million. Now, I kept telling this gentleman, let's not go look at that Alphard. Ogenda kutuswaza. Teriyo. And he said, tugenda that is to muchayire. And I told him, mu bintu by'emmoroka bino tebakyala naddala ng'otwala Arthur. Abantu balowooza mbalemesa okutunda. And he said, Arthur tugende. Because he had paid me, we went. Twabadde twakatuuka bwe tuti. The broker n'atandikirawo, Arthur tomalira obudde. Arthur tonyononera obudde. And I asked the broker, ne bw'aba ono y'atalina sente zigula mmoroka yo nze mba nkumalidde obudde. And he kept shouting, Arthur tomalira obudde. We reached the car, and indeed the car was there. I think it was a UBL. It was the new shape of the Alphard. And we looked at it. We even started the car. And then I asked him, ene moroka ya mmeka? And he said 28 million shillings. And I asked the buyer, why have you brought us to this car saying it's 19 when the person is now telling it's 28? And the guy said, Arthur nagambye tomalira obudde. You know, guys, there are brokers that just want to shout to show that Arthur is actually a bad person. And I told this broker, I did not even want to come here. I am here because this person who paid me for inspection insisted that I come here. I knew this car would not be 19. So as we were looking at this car, the person that was the Wish buyer looked at a newer. This very person of the Alphard said, I didn't know about $1,250,000 cash. And I said, because it was a new newer. And I asked this broker still, I didn't know what you took $1,250,000. And he says, ani akugambye. Ne mugamba ono guy yangambi. And he said, siswala jitunda $1,250,000. Miruka $1,300,000 oba mumeka. And I asked this dude, kati gobije, wanangambi widdenga bimugamba. At that instant, the guy started shouting, Arthur obuzibu otulemesa okukola. Nayomba, nanvuma. And I asked this guy, sigwandese wano ngole moroka $1,19,000. The guy showed us messages. Nga bamugambye ajje balabe. Tebamugambye nti ya 19. Bamugambye ajje akole ki? Ajje balabe. The brokers will pull you even when they know they cannot sell you that car at the price you want. But they are trying to get you there, hoping that you're going there alone so that they convince you to buy another car. When they see you going with someone that understands cars, they know they cannot lure you into buying another car. And then they start making a fuss. At that moment, I got angry, but I literally could not show this guy that I was angry. And I told him, you see, guys, the issue sometimes that happens with you buying cars is that sometimes you want something that is too good for a budget that is too low. You want something that is too good for a budget. Guys, I've told you, we need to get in the perfect headspace when you're going to buy cars. Or kutegera mu sente zange nfuna ki. Or kutegera package yange nfuna ki. Ku sente zenyina, what do I get? Sorry, I saw the word package. Or kutegera ku sente zange, what car do I get? The moment you don't understand that, you're going to disturb yourself and others. So at that moment, when we were there, the wish buyer asks me, Arthur, kati tukole ki? And I told him, nakugambye dda, I told you since morning what I want us to do. I told him I wanted you to go to the bond. The money you have, you should get a car from the bond. But you want me to tell you something else. Ontege nanga Arthur batsagala banja dene. Nemuga kati omanchi obokola tugule wish eri. Kuba nungi naye yabadde ajagadde. But I think I realize psychologically, once we see something that is good, we always have the hope that we'll see something better. But me, because I've been in this business for a long time, I know that once we see something good normally, and I'm going to briefly tell you about what happened last evening as well. Ebiseera ebisinga bwe tulaba ekintu ekirungi, gwagula, you have it in your mind that you'll get something better. Chances are high that you won't. The chances are there that you will get something better. The chances are high. Me and my experience that dana go kebe de moro kane Arthur. Chances are high that you won't get something better. So he says, now Arthur, let's go buy the other car. But by that time we are in Bakuli, and it's around 4:40 there. It wasn't yet 5 because bank says singa zigalao. Actually, it wasn't 4. It was around 5 something. At 5, most of the car banks have closed. But there is a centenary in Rubaga near the church that is normally open, but up to 7. About 6. So we drove to Centenary and talked. The wish seller was an old man. So we started calling. Even the Alphard guy now decided, let me buy the other Alphard we saw first. So we called both the owners. Both those cars were owned by different people. So we called both the car owners to see if they could bring the cars to us. And only the wish person would bring it because the wish was almost at the road. But the Alphard was in the very end. So apparently the cars that were in front of it belonged to other people. So they had gone. So we could not get the Alphard out. So we called for the wish. But we told them to be on standby. Let's first go to the bank and see if we'll find it opened. Fortunately, we found the bank open. And he was able to get the money. So we met at a petrol station. As you see the pictures, I took them at a petrol station. We met at a petrol station and we waited at the petrol station for like 2 hours for the owner of the car to come. He sent us his boy driving the car. And then the owner, because he was an old man, he came and we paid. And that's where I took those pictures at night. I had a picture of the rear part of the car, but it was too dark. So even when I put on the lights, because the car was black interior, so the pictures would not really come out. So and then we paid for the wish, and then I got the gentleman a driver, and and then he proceeded, and I've not heard from him again. So then yesterday morning, because the Alphard gentleman Namreka petrol station now, then we met with the Alphard guy yesterday in the morning. And then I test drove the Alphard. Bali bajoza mu engine ngerimu akapipira ne bamudizaaya akasente so that he works on the Alphard himself, on the kapipira himself. The kapipira is possibly a water in the plugs or a spoiled coil. So, but guys, somehow I get even disappointed with you. I charge 450,000 for a single day of inspection. Sometimes, guys, I get disappointed in you. Do you know why? We could have gotten a better bargain on that car had we paid more than 10 million. And clearly this gentleman had more than 10 million. But we bought a car, they sold it to us at 19 million because we were paying 10 million first installment. And yesterday alone, I'm thinking he spent about 2 million shillings on that car. Woofer, radio, maridadi. Simanya butala tala, maridadi. Now, guys, I'm not in charge of your decisions. But whenever, if you can get a lower rate, the only time I would not encourage you to get to pay someone more money is if even increasing the installment doesn't get you a better deal. But guys, normally when we are buying cars on credit, yeah, you can get a better deal on a car. We could have gotten a better deal on the Alphard if we had paid a little more money. If only we had paid the extra 2 million as paid installment, 12 million first installment, probably we would have bought that car at 18 or even probably 17. I don't know. You probably would have gotten a better deal. Never also a lower installment, a lower first installment. You get the amount you're paying for the car increases. And I've told you guys this and time and again. So, but anyway, the Alphard was a good buy. The Wish was a good buy. Could we have gotten better deals? Yes, for the Wish buyer, we could have. It would have been better for us to buy a car from the bond. Yes, the Alphard, I believe, if we had increased our first installment, we would have gotten a better deal. You get, but and sometimes they were advising it. Guys, it's better that you get a better deal on a car than getting a car at no sokojiteka muchi maridadi. So both cars were bought on credit. The Wish we paid 25 million first installment, and then we have 3 months to finish the balance. The Alphard, we also have, I think with the Alphard we have about 4 to 5 months to pay the 9 million that is remaining. So let me just see what I can talk about in the inspection report. The Wish had nothing to work on. Mwabadde mu obuntu obukubaga naawo naye tewabadde agent kyobola natalewo 0 to 500,000 wabadde okubaga naawo mu maaso naye nga those are things you can drive for even 2 years nga tobukuteemu. What I'm trying to see if there is something I have to talk about in the inspection report, because now I can read when I'm packed. Let me see the Alphard first. Rough idea on Jibagambie. The thing that the buyer did not like mostly about the Alphard was the black interior. So the Alphard, I think the Alphard on that day, on the cars we inspected that day, Alphard was the best buy, because like who accepts 10 million? What's the gate, eh? So with the Wish was as good as new. Android radio was installed, everything. So those are the inspections of the other day. Yesterday I inspected for 3 people. When you add the Alphard that I only had to test drive, those would be 4 people that I worked with yesterday. But I inspected 3 cars. I'm going to publish the inspection reports now after the broadcast because I'm packed. And then the one thing I wanted to share with you, yesterday we were buying an Impreza. We have not bought the the Impreza yet, but we saw an Impreza yesterday. It was a UBP. It was being sold at 24 million. We are paying 18 million first payment. And because always when you see something good, you expect to see something better, the buyer talked to another person that got them a car and we went to see it. Now that car, I'll give you reasons why I actually wanted them to buy that car, because one, it was being sold to them by someone they knew. But it had, remember, there's a time I told you about, if there's something I told you about the ABS of an Impreza disturbing us. It's whenever you're buying an Impreza 2012, don't buy the Subaru Impreza that has the ABS that has the writing X1, and that Impreza had the X1. But of course they don't die all the time. But in case it dies, it's a lot of problems. The gearbox, the gears will not shift. It will have warning lights, and then you literally have to either buy the entire system or pay a lot of money to have it like bachiya. So after that's the last car we saw before we decided let's go back and buy the other one. And by that time it was too late. And then the other car, the UBP Impreza, there were already other buyers that were trying to buy it. So I don't know if they bought it, but if they bought it, they have to go back and buy the other Impreza. And that's the thing with us, always trying to think we're going to get something better. In my experience, when you see something that is really, really, really nice and on a very good offer, with that Impreza, the UBP, they had worked on a bearing. There's a bearing between the transmission and the gearbox. They worked on it, and I saw hydraulic on the gearbox. So what I did, I asked the seller to give us a guarantee on the gearbox for 1 year. You get it? They give us a guarantee for 1 year, and the seller accepted. Ngenda ba guarantee ku gearbox ya mwaka mulamba. But that's why we decided to go back and buy that car. But simanyi Impreza yobayinza okugitugulako. So yesterday nasuziza inspection etawedde. Naye lwaki teyawedde because omukyalo yaze sawa musanvu. She came with her father, and I know the father follows me a lot. Thank you very much muzeyi. Yagize ne muzeyi we nitukebere mmoroka. And I don't know Impreza yinza obutabaawo. Kuba yabadde kabaguzi nga luna baagala ogisibako. Kati ffe we twagize nga tugaye tugende tugule ntugamba omukyala tugende ku Forest Mall. Batuleetera emmotoka awo. Naye kati oli omusajja nga tajja tulimbalimba ndi mu jam. Eventually the lady said let's finish this tomorrow. Nange ne ngamba it makes sense. Kanze nga manyi oli ddala jamu ya mukute. Later on I was told the truth. Yabadde ali ne babbaaya ba mirundi ebiri nga bali mu test driving amoloka. Even one of the buyers wanted to deposit on the car because akamotoka kabadde kalungi. When I have pictures, I think of that car. Let me see if it backed up. Webate bya backinze biri ku simu naye weba bya backinze mbina wana. The car was really nice, eh? Nga bagitunda 24 tusasulako 18 first installment. Naye the chances are high nti bagitunze ekiro. Waliwo emmotoka nga bwebeera nnungi nnyo abagitwala bo babaawo. Sigirina eri ku simu kuli. I think I don't back up my WhatsApp thingies because when we were looking at the other Impreza, I asked for the pictures so that I can compare all the cars. And so I don't know kati. They just have to go back and buy the other one because I cannot give them time. Today I think I have 2 people coming for inspection. 2 people. One of them is buying a car of 80 million. It's only one in Uganda. Tugenda kugula Harrier Kawundo 2018 model. Tugenda jigule milioni 85 erimu milioni 85. Abala 2017 bazituna milioni 95. Simanyi oba weeri n'okuba kuba bagimpa like 4 days ago, and I've not talked to the person yagimpereza ebifaananyi byayo. So kati emoroka erimu etya that's why I added a second person. Wakati we tugenda kugenda wayi tukebere bweba si nnungi addeyo ne sente ze, bweba nnungi asasule. Kati nze ngene nkolera n'omulala. So yesterday was tough. Natuuse nga amagulu gannuma, like I was moving a lot. You know bochari kwene emoroka ngo atholiwa. Yesterday we bought a Wish. We did that Alphard. We bought a Rumion. And there was that Impreza that you don't. So Gochomanya was like this. But those days are rare. They don't happen every day. So because they don't happen every day, buzijjae kati oyo omukyala yanku amazima gali nti omukyala oyo wokusatu. I did not plan. Omukyala oyo wokusatu. Kati the reason yesterday I had 2 people to inspect for. Do you know why? Oyo omu nabagambye gulo yakakansolinga emirundi ebiri. Era bwe yazze ne mugawa badde wakakansolinga emirundi ebiri nagasseeko omuntu omulala nga simanyi oba tokansolinga leero. So naye oyo omukyala yankubidde ssaawa 5. Bwe yankubidde ku ssaawa 5 ne mugawa lwaki tetukoze ku Lwokuna. Nangamba Alphard, I have to buy the car today. Ngenda okugattagattamu nti ng'ono omwami ono yakansolinga emirundi ebiri wa moroka ya bondi nga shuwa diiru ebyo biggwa. Kati nga nyinayo omulala jo wa Rumion ngamba kati bano bajje babiri. Ekyo bw'osanga nga nkugaseeko omuntu omulala tolimba towakana. Chairman's Act yali repaired. It was under an invoice. There is a bearing they did. It wasn't in the gearbox. That's why I asked for guarantee of a year. It wasn't a repaired gearbox. Twagikebedde ne tugivuga nga ekola bulungi buli kimu. And because it was working, but because I did not want to risk, so I asked for a guarantee of 1 year. Gwe guarantee y'omwaka ogimanyi ku gearbox. Gearbox weba yakufa eya CVT tekola yadde emyezi 4. nga yafudde dda. So anyway, bw'osanga nga ataddeko omu, especially katono nze mmanyi tugenda kutuuka mu kyeya wali nga tunaatira okukola ki, nga tunaatira okulonda, ngenda basiina de inspection n'emu, kati mundeke. Mwe kye muba mumanya emmoroka kati ennaku zino okuntegeera gye nzitegeera njirabira na mu bifaananyi ne kugamba either teriyo bambi. Nzirabira mu bifaananyi okitegeera. And I'm telling you, ebiseera ebisinga nze bw'oŋŋamba nti emmoroka bagiyinguza ssente bwezi bwe njitunako manya. So anyway, the inspection ya Alphard ne Wish Boys agenze. Do I think we got good cars? Yes, we did. Do I think we could have gotten better with the Alphard? No. With the Wish, yes, we could have gotten better. Katino ze kambabuli ogula Wish etambuddeko emiliyoni 3 kebe ennungi etya ngula karawo mukanga ka miliyoni 28 cash n'enkevuga. That's what I told the buyer. Era I think because he knew I would give accountability ku YouTube yange atatonjogera konti naguze bubi. The good thing is you guys don't know this person. Kyekirungi kyokka nti omuntu oyo temukola ki, temumumanyi. Era naye namugaye ne bwe nakwogerako abantu tebakumanyi, either temumumanyi. So anyway guys, those are the inspections I did yesterday. I did 3. Emute yawedde ne almost yawedde because either we are buying the UBP or the edikalina card ka UBL. Ka UBL kona kakebedde na kimaze. Ishishuna kimaze kyokka kebera. And guys, for you people that are buying cars, if you don't care about fuel, buy a bigger car. Bwoba mafuta si kyekizibu kyo, a bigger car is always better. Bwoba mafuta kizibu kyo gule mmoroka entono. Emmoroka ennene ekimu ku bintu byegenda okuwa, egenda kuwa very good performance, ate it will give you consumption that is almost like the consumption of a small car. Okitegeera. And guys, let me tell you something about CVT. Let me tell you something about CVT gearboxes. CVT gearbox kasita hydraulic taggwamu. Wanji ompulira mwabavuga CVT hydraulic emmoroka ne bwebe ina leakage, ne bwebe ina leakage, fuba okulaba nga hydraulic wire alimu taggwamu. Simanyi oba ontegedde. Fuba okulaba nga hydraulic wire alimu taggwamu. Emmoroka eyo CVT gearbox bagikola service hydraulic wire omukadde ne bamumalamu ne bateekamu omupya. That's when you know that nobody can stop reggae. I am telling you, because I've seen multiple CVT gearboxes nga bazikola nga either zina leakage obanga ne bazaamu CVT ne bongeramu CVT ne ziterera. That is something I've seen. So CVT gearboxes are very delicate. Neba makanika bagenda bategeera trick yazo. So kansome comment zamu mulaza sigenda basibula ngenda basibula mpumulemu. Today the people that have seen my truck today jenziru say I was really slow. Nabadde simanyi nsobola n'okudduka olwale nako ye natuse wakasawa mukaga nako ye jamu yabadde munje eggulo entuka wakaku natuse sanga 5 kitundu n'enjoze emmotoka so ninyingira mu nyumba sanga mukaga nga nyina okunaaba nyina okuwandiika report zeze emmotoka ebbiri because I had to talk about them today. Okitegeera so neba sisanga mukaga ni dakiika nga 5 awo saa 7. So today because the kids are not going to school anymore, I just decided let me go and run at 6. Newe nadduka mpola nja kumalako. So that's why I was always going to imagine going to Bakuli for nothing and realizing your expert is right. Guys, that thing happens a lot. Lwakubanti ze nyina ebifu byesi kyagenda mbu ngamba tugendeyo nga nsookayo bw'osanga ng'ekusanyusa ng'ompita. Let me see nyina comments zesi nasoma wano. Naye nga bakayingira broadcast, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Inspection will be a case study for all, and actually it might change. Your inspection, change the car inspection fee for people in the diaspora for their own good. Nize start jangu tubongeze. Mr. Arthur Taina package yabali wabweru. Guys, I don't want to buy a car when you're not here or when you don't have someone here. So the fee is constant for all cars waliwo yabuuza atha ne moroka ne bweba yakina na inspection fee yemu gwe ab'emmoroka ez'ebbeeyi bangu ebyo ne mmoroka emu kati nga mbaga nti emmoroka ey'ekinaana erimu emu mu Kampala omwaka ogwo ez'ekinaana endala myaka mikadde simanyi oba ekyali nayo. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The lady gave me consultation fee. We talked. I told her my options. I remember I shared that story. CHR and olimba ndi awo gwe amukube nakubira ngamba nyina 218 yiyo ya million yangamba kinana mu mukaga, but I know bayinza no gituguza kinana nga mu 2. Okitegeera. I called the lady and she says I'll be coming on Wednesday. I'm not even sure that lady will come on Wednesday. Tomorrow. Today is what? It's supposed to be today. Hey, it's supposed to be. I'm not sure if that lady will even come today. I'm not sure she will come today. But I'm also not sure if the car is there. Okitegeera. Normally omuntu omanya nti aze Edwin Webs nakuzijemu I charge 450k for 1 day of inspection in the Kampala CBD. If you go to Wachiso you pay fuel. If you, the moment you go past Kampala you pay fuel. Namugongo is Wachiso over it's Kampala. Is it possible to get a digital number plate with 20 million cash? It depends on what car. Subarus, yes. Some Subarus, some Mark X's, and there are also cars with digital number plate. Say you can. Like my project car, 15. You bring 15, you even save 5. Bring 15, I give you the project car. Project car. I don't know why you people put guards on your car. The damage that a guard causes is bad. The thing is the guard also ngenda vuma mu kubantu ba guard ku TikTok mukirize ngenda bavuma. Arthur, this is what I've learned from today's broadcast about all the inspections you did yesterday, or about the Wish and the Alphard. Being undecided is really bad. Knowing what you want is crucial. Very, very crucial. For the Wish, Bond would have been a better buy. I did tell him by the way multiple times. Ngansigala mugama mukulu. Tugende mu Bond. Ati sky tuguleka kagundi, tuguleka rawumu. Okitegeera tuguleka rawumu. Tekaji it's not nange moroka jenvuga guys. Emoroka eno jenvuga mugiraba. Sije njagala. Neje nsobola. Sente zange je zinsobozesa. It's a good car. Nena ndi agadde new model ya Prius eri nene ebamba. Okitegeera eri ya bibebi. Naye mvuga kana akatali ya bibebi. Sije njagala. Guys, sometimes we need to accept. If my money is taking me in this direction, let me go there. Ngawe chiri nti when we are educating our kids, we take them to the schools that we can afford. Ontegera, ngawe chiri nti at home we eat the food we can afford. Lwakuba batabani bange bangaye they want to go eat at an expensive restaurant. Nze simanyi bana simanyi obana abasobola. They want to go to eat at an mbuno, they want to go for a trip outside the country. Banveeko. Ngenda bali nyisa bus tugende Nairobi. Ate ensobe edi emuti bayinza oba baagala nnyonyi oba mbalinyise kanyonyi kana akagenda ejjinja basi bamaze bwe mbalinyisa akanyonyi akagenda ejjinja nyina kabalinyisa mu January walinga okulonda kwa akaggwa ababenyonyi bajja bate balina bakasoma bajja salako twala abiri otwalako ejjinja otumale tukomyewo e Kampala abiri je mitwalo 8 family yonna tulinya akanyonyi abani basanyu kenti we took an airplane. The issue with respecting and following expert decisions. Thank you, Jovan. I do. I check echocho mumoroka wonne netegeera. Mwe sengamba buli abantu abakoze ensobi mu butawuliriza bayitirivu. Ate starch rawumu ne million 18 bazikwatako mu bondi bakubanje ogigula 3 bakubanje otetenkanya osasule moroka nga gwagitandisole migula rawumu nkadde. This takes us back to the guys that wanted the canter in Kampala. Muwulirize oyo guy yabivanako oba yagenda n'agenda yekka yamanyi he cancelled like 3 times. Kati bwankubira kyemba mulanze once you cancel once ntandika ne bw'obojja sikuteekako birowoozo nteeka ku balala. And my CVT gearbox got a leakage, but it's already triggering my anxiety. Chairman Zach, if your CVT has a leakage, get the leakage worked on. quickly nga CVT oyo tannagwamu, then batopinga with the CVT that is for that gearbox. Boba manyi ba makanika ate ekyokukola bagenda baziyiga CVT, bagenda baziyiga. With my anger issues, I can't even think of your job. People should pay you. Jesse, I have anger issues myself. Now, that's why I run. Guys, mukole exercise. But when my mood gets improved. But also, Jesse, I find that bobolimu nga abantu bakutaddeka amaaso, your anger issues go aside. Otano kokurachi. Abantu bakumiddeka amaaso. Kati olaba broke yanvumye wabbakuli. Ngezaako okureasoninga with him mugambe why nze wano mbadde saagala kujjawo. I actually had him say nti Arthur yanemesaako okutunda emmoloka nga nsabye akakadde lwakuba abantu abamu kati awo nze nsobola okukuba. Like I would want to see someone sent Arthur yansaba sente ng'oli omukazi w'oku Success Motors namuconfronting nga ndi n'abaguzi ne mugaa gwe wolola wakubira omuntu n'omugamba nkusabye sente tokikola ne bano. Like brokers ate it's the brokers that do those things. Okitegeera abo broker abatalina yadde ekikumi abo be basala ebigamba abo nagamba Arthur asabye sente nzi kusabye gwe broker nkusabye sente gwe. There is an Indian that also wanted to do it to me. Twali eri mu Japan emmoloka zembi ali mugamba oyo ne makanika bansabye sente ne mubuza tukusabye sente ddi. It happens. Those things happen. Wano obuvubuka eyo obwali bwagala ne mugaa gwe nja bafunira abafango ne babakube mumba mwagala kuba mwagala kuleeta gaali wano. Good morning Arthur and Kala. What's the average budget for a Vitz in good condition? Soon coming. Arinaitwe a Vitz old model, a good one, better than $1,12,000. A good one. Okitegeera ate nayo yakunoonya nnyo kuba tezirabika ennungi. Abalina ennungi nabo tebagala zituna because they don't have the money to top up for a newer model. The new model have carried 17 million for a new model, but that will be a 1 liter. In the bond, it's 25. Why do you always recommend buying a car from the bond? Health expert, if there is a budget, the question health expert is asking is valid. There is a point, there is a budget at which it only makes sense to buy from the bond in Zimbabwe. If you have 25 million shillings and above, buying a used car nga sika wundo nga sinuwa yenyine. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this. There is a point where it doesn't make sense to buy an old car. But if you're going to be buying a Vitz old model, a Vitz new model, nga you're buying it 20 million, nga your bond you're 25, it would be a bad buy. Take the 20 million. Guys, nze nyina omuntu ga bwe nkulaba nga you can raise 20 million, you cannot fail to raise 5 million in 5 months or in 1 year. Ate kambabulira ekintu kimu bana abantu abatunda emmoloka. Of course, let me tell you, tebeewola buli wamu. It's the same thing I was telling those guys eggulo buliri owawish no Alphard. Tebeewola buli wamu. Waliwo abantu ogenda okwewola basike emmoloka nga bakubanja emitwalo 3. I am telling you this. Basike emmoloka nga bakubanja 3 nga breakdown ogenda giwa 3, osasule parking ya mitwalo 5 ate bano obawa 3 gaabwe. There are those people. Tebeewola buli wamu. But also guys, why do you borrow? Why do you buy an old car when the difference between that car and the new car is 5 million? Okujjako ng'emmoloka gy'ogula, it's as good as new. Now the Wish was a good car. The Wish was a good car. But like yesterday we bought a Wish at 33 million. Ngate top condition. Taina extras ngeno ziyina naye top condition nga mpya ngoli yagitandikidde. Like the difference is 3 million. Ontegeere ate nga neyo nayo bali kale ku mujiwola yali alirinyeemu ko kasente. That's the thing. Yenze naliguza karawo mu 2.8. Arthur, you said buying a big car is better if fuel is not a problem. So what big cars do you recommend? Any big car, as long as it's Toyota. Boba mfuna mpola. You can buy the Alphard. You can what one chimoloka chenda bajitata FJ Cruiser. You can buy the Land Cruiser TX. Ochitege, right? And guys, for those people that are buying Mercedes Benz, MLs, Formatics, buy petrol. Don't buy diesel. Don't say I didn't tell you. Arthur be baby like Mama Aban sicho istach nga Mama Aban naye Mama Aban chimanya ala broadcast muna mfunisa embeera natandika okulowooza otherwise. Interesting how Arthur bargains with people to make the right decision for their own good. Opong Solomon, you'll be surprised. Waba guys, waliwo lwentuuka neŋŋamba wa yagule yamanyi kasita wa sente ze. I am telling you, there are instances where we reach ng'onsumbuye neŋŋamba omanyi agule eno. Especially if you disturb me, nonsumbuwa netuuka ku mmotoka ng'omuntu aje kufunidde muntu ng'angamba agule eyo oba mbi oba tetuuka eri bulungi kasita nkunnyonnyola ne kugamba ekibi ekiri kwene mmoloka kye kino. Like I'll give you an example. You see the last Impreza we saw yesterday yabadde nnungi buli kimu until we saw the ABS control. Now the ABS control is the X1 eyo gweta nafaako ng'agiina mu mmoloka bw'oba ogiina nga you're driving a Subaru Impreza 2012 nga ki ABS control kyo wali kipampu kiriko X1 gitunde bangi abatamanyi nti X1 ejja kusumbuwa kuba eyinza obutafa kati naye bw'eneefa. That's the only deal breaker. But I told them mechanic ye yabadde alemerako X1 nemuganidde eyinza obutafa baleke bagule mmoloka yaabwe okitegeera because n'obudde bwabadde bugenze. Ate ng'engeri gye nadde ndabye ngeri gearbox yabaddeko hydraulic nga we hadn't yet negotiated for the guarantee. Nga bagule eno oli bw'atatuwa guarantee okitegeera naye nga X1 yonga yo problem. Naye engeri gye yabadde, and I kept telling the lady, since the person that is selling you this car knows you know them, let's just buy this one okitegeera because nze nyina wentuuka nga manyi nti kakati there is no car that is better than this one naye nga gwoyagala let's go look at it we go nga waliwo nsumba nenga kama yamanyi kasita nzija n'embinyumya wano okitegeera. What if we fail to make a purchase? Stephen Omoria, we cannot fail to make a purchase. Olaba Alphard, we fail to make a purchase because of him. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Tuina we tutuuka neŋŋamba teri ndala yeeno like basobola okumpeereza emmoloka ba broker nenzira neŋŋamba eyo nga nkimanyi mbi. But if you insist we go there, we can go there. But the problem is going there obudde ne bwekitiitirako eyo ne tukomawo oba olumu ng'eno emmoloka bagitutte. Like I told you, we saw like a UBP that was really nice, but in the evening the person wasn't bringing it to us because he had other buyers nga baagana namusibako. Probably they were even buying cash fe tugula mabanja. So today weba teriiwo. We did not buy a car yesterday because of the buyer, not me. Ontegeera so kati the only thing I'll tell them, you go back and buy the other car kasita nayo yabadde nnungi kati ekyo kyabwe ontegeera. So Stephen Omoria, there's one thing I can guarantee you. That's why you guys pay consultation before. If I tell you that car can be gotten in that budget, nebotagenda nange you'll get a good car. That's why I keep telling you, for me, give me the 50k consultation. Go buy your own car. You don't have to go with me. Ontegeera, the people that want to go with me will go with me. I keep telling you, you don't have to go with me. Me, you pay me the consultation, we talk, I tell you that car is a good car, you can buy this one at this price, you can buy that one at that price. Go with someone else. You will get, trust me, Stephen Omoria, one day is enough. Kasita Arthur akugambe yemoroka ejja kusoboka olunaku lumu kumala. You see the lady that's coming to buy a Harrier Kaunda 2018 model. I told her, you cannot get a Harrier Kaunda 2017 at less than 90 million. Era the only person that told me it's coming, they have it, nambuza weri ekampa nangamba ijja igenda tuka mu January. But the lady wants to eat Christmas with her car. Ontegeera. Era the lady called me again, I think last night, nambuza kati number plate. Namuga number plate ebera ya weeks 2 ku 3 na yo jateka mu kaka sento so rogifuna mu wiki etya. The people that have bought cars know. So guys, nze bwe nkuwa nti mmotoka ejja kusoboka. Era the lady bwe yankubira namugamba Harrier Kaunda ejja kuba mu sente ezo naye CHR yo solo gifunanga mu 7.5. Okitegeera. Ate for me I find that the CHR is better than the Harrier. That's what I think. Morning Arthur, olowooza mama waabwe si ye yabataddemu eyo koodi eriwa koodi. Mazda Biante for 15, if only If I only have that money and I find the newer and other options expensive, advise. At higher Martin, I've told you guys time and again, Mazdas, Nissans, all those cars are good. The problem will come at maintenance time. Ontegera, it's not proper for you to buy a car, well knowing that you can get to a point where you need a spare part and you can't find it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I would not advise you to buy a car. Ngashua deal with the entire world knows. There can come a time where you need a spare part for that car and you can't find it. But if you're okay, you say Aizuru, Kantarafia, it's possible that the parts might not die. At least the rare ones that might give you trouble. But what if they die? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Arthur, if I come with you to do inspection, how does the broker come in? Why not deal directly with the owner of the car or bond? Peter Bakai, me, I have no problem. If you know the owner of the bond, we can go. But the reason why you need brokers is because brokers know places. And let me tell you this, guys. Whether you have a broker or you don't have a broker, you're going to buy the car at the same price you would have bought it even with the broker involved. Nze, I work with brokers because nze bananyini bond sibamanyi. Ontegera, I don't know bond owners. I don't even want to know them. Why? Because I'll get compromised and I don't want to get compromised. You get? I don't. Let me tell you, yesterday, when we were looking for cars, there is a place we went to buy a Wish. It's actually the place where we bought the Wish. Nabadde nyina machine yange no jenkoza diagnosis. I normally put it on myself like this. Omuyindi nagikwata najinzijako najambala. Nanga, let me see how you run away now. You come here, you check cars, you don't buy. You come here, you check cars, you don't buy. Ontegere, but let me tell you, for me, there are bond owners that know what way ready to again by Japan Auto. We called him to ask him, do you have this car? He said, I don't have. You people, you come, you check, you don't buy. The owners of bonds, they are going to expect that every time I come, I buy, even when they have bad cars. But Peter Bakai, me, I would encourage you guys, if you know a bond owner and you're sure they have only good cars, me, I can come and check. Netulonda mumoro kazaina chinyamba konze, because I do inspection there, and then I go. Which say it's even better for me, because kata we manyante Arthur nyina bond wenjagala ogula we tugenda okebera nze ngateka abantu banga bameka babiri ku lunaku nga manyi wapita ngenda gendayo dakiika nange moroka zonna tuzirabye nga tuvuzeemu nga ngende wala. That's even better for me, because eggulo nakoye nnyo, because abantu bonna nyino batambuza mbifo ebyenjawulo. Peter, kirizagana, the brokers know better where the cars are. You don't. Ontegere, like that Alphard, we would not have seen it had it not been a broker. Twalibadde twenjedde ontegera. Arthur, lero otabukidde brand. I remember the time you told the story of that lady who accused you of asking for money. You refused to tell us the bonds. Njogedde. Najogera ne kwolwo. Eyo njogedde because oyo mukazi oyo mukazi yanyiza nnyo nno. Bamuyita na Shamimu, kyemanyi mumumanyi ku TikTok. Bamuyita Shamimu. Ida mugana Shamimu. Nakusaba sente. Nangamba tewansaba. Nuka lwaki wakubira omuntu wange omuga nti nkusabye sente. Tochikola ne bano. Ebintu bireke. At the morning, I need a Toyota Hilux in good condition 2013. No problem. Call brokers. You see how I'm telling you now? Call brokers. The brokers know where those cars are. So Bakuli Motors are scammers. They are not. Guys, I've not said they are scammers. I've not. And there is nothing like Bakuli Motors. Bakuli is a place. I think the Bakari. I wanted a certain Mitsubishi Outlander from them, 30 million. What other SUVs do you recommend? What if on the day we move around, we can't fail, guys? Let me guarantee you. If I tell you we can get that car in that price range, we can get it. Here is the problem, Godfrey. The problem is you wanting a newer car than what your money can afford you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The problem is you wanting a newer car than what your money can afford you. That's why I encourage you to pay me 50k. That's why I encourage you to pay me 50k. We chat. Actually, nze ne bw'okoma ku etaano n'ogenda makubo go. Godfrey, the problem is you wanting a newer car than what your money can afford you. Otegeera. The problem is you wanting a 2014 Subaru Impreza at 28 million. That is impossible. So if you have 28 million shillings, I'm going to tell you, we are going to get a 2012 model, 2013 model used. Now, you say, Arthur, I want it from the bond. I tell you, it's not possible in the bond. We move around the bonds and there is no Subaru Impreza 2014 at 28. And we fail to get it. Is it my fault? Obviously not. Me, I told you, you'll get a 2012, 2013 used outside. Now you come to the day of inspection and you say, but Arthur, I want a 2014 from the bond. I tell you it's not possible. And you say, Arthur, tugende wali. Okujja kongo ngamba, Arthur, me, I want that model, whether it's okay or it's not okay. Me, I will still inspect, give you a report, tell you this car is not good. You need to repair this and this and this and this. This is the total amount you're going to invest. And I say, bye. I'll even come on YouTube and say, we went with a gentleman, we bought a car, it was in bad condition, but for him, he wanted that model. He did not care about the issues. Ontegeera. The reason why I give accountability for these things is because I don't want to be caught off guard for someone coming, ngayogere bitakwatagana. Ontegeera. Good morning, Arthur. Do you recommend I buy a Subaru Legacy before non-turbo 2008 at 20 million? It's okay. If it's in good condition, buy it. Because I never has a million. Arthur, I have 22 million cash, but I want a newer or an Alphard as my first car. Yes, both of them you can't get a newer. It won't be good. 22 it won't. Alphard was already funanga nunji. Ne newer to judge funanga nunji. Emmanuel Mpoza, hi. Arthur, you have had a place called Axofoli Auto House. Yes, I've heard of it. Arthur, my wife wants a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, but I'm worried about its maintenance because definitely I know Jeep is not reliable. Jeep is reliable, guys. It's just expensive to maintain. As long as you have the money to maintain it, you spare motors, you buy the spare, you buy for your wife. Nzenange senga bade nyina ne sente. Nze mama bani jasabanga muwa oyagala chi. Yiyo vuga. Jasaba je muwa. Lwakuba tulina sente. Niyo mukazi give her. Muwe ebintu omuwanike. Ba Arthur benga tebasobola mukwana muwe. Tozirina. Muwe. Arthur, how much a Vitz new? A new shape Vitz 1718. Charles Sevaduka. Oh, Ryotya. Mukama Patrick. Guys, kamba sibule. But all in all, guys, if I tell you can get a car at that price, even if you don't go with Arthur, you'll get it in one day. As long as you don't reach the place and you start being picky and start saying katinza you bike sijagala njagala you bichu. Ninga sente zo zigula you bike. Ontegeera. Sente zo bazigula kati ngono Alphard yabadde ayagala moroka. Alphard new model. Ino kuba milioni 3 ngagala jigula 19. Ate agala sasuko milioni 10. My people. Ate yobo mukolera ki? Sibi yakulubudo olugirwa starleti yange. Pulira bubi lanji yange ya bei time 15. Sajja na jakulubulo olugi. Pulira bubi. Era ngenda vuma abayina gadi ku modoka ku TikTok. Abayina gadi wano mu nsonyi ngenda bavuma. N'obusungu bukkakanye ne bukyali bungi. Mulekeeko bampa zokka. Bampa bwekuluba nsobola okuba tikkaati. Kigadi kiyingirira ddala mu langi. Kati gadi oteeka yaki ku mmotoka. Kati nawe FJ Cruiser yateeka gadi yaki ku mmotoka. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll tell the story of the 3 inspections. Let's see how the 3rd inspection ends because yebire mmotoka twaziguze. Ate omusajja yangambye Rumion twaguze Rumion yangambye yakukasa yakubye ebinye moroka ne leta engine check ne mugaji ndete ne ko machine ebyo bigwanga iteka kuba ina loose connection nga yakubye mu kinnya. Rumion je twaguze is almost as good as new eri ku UBQ but yali ya parking oli bamu imoroka ya mulemo okusasula ne bagisika bamuwa emyezi 3 ndoza myezi 3 nga tanna sali yadde 10 ne bashi. Anyway, Lawrence Omule, Victor Seru, Presdo Agaba, K Jovan, Noah Norman, Moses Kawumbi, Agaba, Lawrence Biamokama, Mpanga Godfrey, Dr. Kambes VIP, Yusuf Minaj, Danny Yokeni, Albino Olak, Isaac Katende Katamba, Samuel Ntale, Yusuf Minaj, Starch Events, Michael UG, Henry Modern Juice, Chovio Alex, Jumba Alex, Stephen Omoria, Paul Selma. Guys, I don't refund inspection fees. I don't. Never tuba tuli mukola inspection no ngamba atha bampise ku mulimu. Si refunding nga chenyizo okukola kuwayo hours ndala n'ogula amafuta. I no longer refund. Lucky Mozechi, Wanuka Medad, Sentongo Budu, Edwin Webbs, Reynolds, Katege, Gerald, Chairman Zach, like jia si video genda bagikole mangu ate kakasa anti si video tebamumalamu kitegedde kakasa anti si video tebamumalamu kuba waggwera mu ward. Jesse Semwogere, Arinaitwe Mathias, health expert Richard K, Opongu Solomon, Chigoze Stanley, Eva Abani Ntegedde Stanley kyogamba mama we yawatadde batabani bange tebabateeka mama watasobola bassaamu kodi artist awo nkimanyi tasobola naye tebajja kgenda outside countries, bajja kgendako ejjinja mu nnyonyi. Ngenda kulina mu January awo emiwendo gikendedde batuuze mu Kanyonyi batutwaleko ejjinja batuze Kampala tudinye moroka yaffe tuddeeka. Atuhaire Martin Peter Bakaye, Seguya Haruna, Godfrey Odiero, Chamba de Elvis, Jumba Alex, Emmanuel Mpoza, Louis Habart, Charles Sebaduka, Mukama Patrick. What do you think of Axel Foley? I have no idea. I've not worked with them. I've not bought from them anything. So kati gwegendo sokeyo no tubulira. Arthur, is it possible to replace an Alphard engine with a newer engine? No, the Alphard engine is a 2.4 liter engine. It's already not strong enough for that body. Kati woteka mu 2 liter. Ngenda bo yononye. But what's that in your neck? Oh, sorry, I forgot to take that. This is the diagnosis machine. It's the one we use to diagnose if your car has a problem with the electronic system or with the engine or with the transmission. Baguma, oyo Presdo wafe, Seruma Rajab, FJ Cruiser Costa approximately. I have no idea. I have to ask. But thank you very much guys for being part of the broadcast. Mbajukiza mulete minu muja inspection mu January wavu buja kutuluma na at least mulete kati tufunemu ku kusendeza inspection ezo zituberemu abani basobola okulinya akanyonyi mu January. Nemwe kanzire munda. You guys, let me show you my son's painting. I'm a proud father of a Picasso. This dude is a Picasso. He did temuva awate mbaraba mwagala genda towulira bubi kifaananyi kirazeewo. This dude is a Picasso. You see abatabaddewo nga tutandika. You see, this was a painting by Urban on canvas. So yesterday I bought him more canvas to paint more. These are two paintings, different paintings. So I don't know what his concept is. Isn't that amazing? Oba mbugumye nnyo nyinza oba mbugumye nnyo naye mwe zino painting bwe mulaba firimu z'ababbi ababba art these are the paintings ababbi ze babbanga za $1 million nya. So kati bino tugenda tutimba mu nyumba yaffe. Mutabani wange alina okusiiga painting ezigenda obeera mu nyumba. Namuwadde canvas ennene medium. Abaagala okugulayo namwe mutimbeko mu nyumba zammwe naddala abawuulu abatalina baana ogula n'osimba. Please run before every broadcast so we can enjoy like this. Ka broadcast kali long enough. Auntie, normally I have to take my kids to school. Today, I did not need to take my kids to school. My God, I forgot. I have to call someone. I didn't have to take my kids to school, so I could come here earlier to run. Arthur, how did your meeting with your... Apparently, it almost seems like it was just a coincidence. It seems like it was just a coincidence. It had nothing to do with anything. So I'm going to talk to my accountant. We're going to try to fix those problems. There were errors, genuine errors in my filings for 2023, 2024. So actually, after this phone call, I should call my accountant to be Therese. But there were genuine errors that I did not know. Like the accountant did her job. It was me to blame. It was me to blame. So I'm going to try and fix them, and I hope I don't make those mistakes again. Guys, I wish a very lovely day. May the good Lord bless you. Ciao.